Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about keeping your visor clean on the move. We're talking about a product called VisorCat. Is it the cat's whiskers or is it a coughed up fur ball? Let's find out. For quite a few years I travelled up to Newcastle from where I live in Hartlepool, about a 30-mile trip each way. Used to travel up there for work. I used to work in a hospital, and one day this guy came in into the A&E department and he had 26 plastic horses shoved up his arse. Why on earth you do that, God only knows. Anyhow, it caused a bit of a stir, and I asked the nurses, how is he doing? And they said, he's in a stable condition. Enough about that. What I found during the winter months is when you're driving along and there's all this salt and all this mess and rubbish on the road, and you're going along and it's flinging up on your visor, and from the car in front a car goes past you on the outside or from the other lanes and the splashes come up on your visor. You're riding along thinking, I can still see, it's alright, I can manage, I can still see, and then oh no, you can't see anymore and you have to pull over and clean your visor. Or you'll try leaving a wet cloth stuffed in the front of your fairing, and you pull it out with your gloved hand and you wipe your visor and it gets nice and wet so you can clean it with your glove later. But as you try and put that cloth back, what happens? It blows away, and I've left quite a few cloths down the A19. So I was looking for a solution for cleaning your visor on the move and came up with VisorCat. You can get this for about, I think, £36 on Amazon, or from VisorCat direct. It's worth checking both because sometimes there's offers, sometimes there's discounts. It's worth shopping around, but this is the product I've been using. This is a brand new one. I'll show you that unboxing. Why have I bought a new one? Well, setting it up on a new glove or switching it between gloves, it takes a little bit of getting used to on the positioning. Because it is something that takes a little while to get used to using. So rather than mess on a few times with the glove, I decided to splash out and buy a second one because I actually really rate this product. I've got to say, I'm not linked to VisorCat in any way, shape or form. So this is VisorCat fitted to a glove. It has a strap that goes around your wrist. It has a loop that goes on your thumb, hopefully you can see that, and that's how it's fitted, so that you're using it on the edge of your thumb. I think it's named VisorCat because of the way a cat cleans its face. The way this works is it has a reservoir of fluid and a wick, and the wick keeps a sponge nice and moist. And we like a moist sponge. Did I say that out loud? I don't know. So the way this works, put your cleaning fluid in the reservoir, and there's a little tiny hole in there to fill it. And also, if it's the first time you're using it, you would wet the sponge anyhow, but it will wick through. And as you rub this over your helmet one way, it opens up to reveal the sponge, and the sponge wipes over your visor. That requires quite a firm bit of action, so you're dragging this across and you've got to push it onto your visor, and then when you drag it back the other way, these squeegees, I don't know if you can see them, these squeegees dry the visor off. You wipe this across one way, and the outside, you can actually see the moisture on there, and then when you rub it the other way, the squeegee dries off your visor. Now obviously this is a pretty poor demo because it's not on a helmet and it's very hard to show you how it works, but that bit I've cleaned now is now dirt free. So what do you get in the box? you get a bottle of cleaning fluid. You get the VisorCat. You get some instructions, who reads them, and some stickers. Board biker on board for putting in your car. Very good. And that is the VisorCat, not fitted to a glove. So that's the strap that goes around the wrist, that's the loop that goes over the thumb. With this being brand new, that is a dry sponge. The cleaning fluid, the bottle actually fits in there. You fill that up and away you go. I wouldn't buy refills of this from VisorCat though. You do need to replace these sponges when they get dirty or damaged, and they're about £9 for 3, which isn't unreasonable. They last a full winter and probably a winter and a summer. The fluid though, I don't replace this when it runs out. What you need to do for fluid is not use water, because the fluid needs to have some lubrication. So I use Demon Shine. It's cheap. From Halfords, and just refill this bottle when it's empty with Demon Shine, and that's got a nice lubrication, so it helps remove the dirt without scratching. Or you can use any fluid that's for clay bar lubrication. If you don't know what clay bar is, it's a procedure to really deep clean paint on a car normally, or you can do it on your petrol tank on your bike, but you need a lubricant. So it's a lump of special clay that you rub over the bodywork, but you spray on a lubricant first. That stuff is cheap as well, but Demon Shine is probably cheapest. A money saving tip. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of VisorCat over something else? Disadvantage, obviously, cost. The sponge on a piece of string costs very little. This, like I say, is about £36. It works in the winter, and it's brilliant in the winter. For getting that muck off your visor, I can't rate these highly enough, hence I bought another one. In the summer, they're great for getting the bugs off, but with this being black and the heat in from the sun, the reservoir and the sponge will evaporate and dry out quite quickly. So if you're doing a whole day's riding, you probably need to take your bottle of fluid with you to top this up halfway. Another disadvantage is, depending on the bike you ride, if you imagine you've got hold of the handlebars, this edge here on Triumphs in particular will turn on your heated grips, because the button is right at the edge of the hand grip. So you need to be careful of that, and you might need to adjust it if you have one of those bikes, so just be mindful of it. So as you're moving your hand around, this edge can end up turning your heated grips on, but I've only noticed that on a Triumph. So is it the cat's whiskers or a coughed up fur ball? For me, that's the cat's whiskers. I wouldn't ride in the winter without it. Summer optional, but now I've got two, I'll be riding with it in the summer as well. But you need to make that decision for yourself. Do you have a better way of doing it? If you have, tell me how you do it in the comments. Yeah, if there's a cheaper way of doing this, spread it amongst everyone. But for £36, I think that's a good investment. You got a brand new one. There's a brand new one. There's 3-year-old one with 25,000 miles. Both as good as new. It's very robust, long lasting. Gets the thumbs up from me. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you stayed to the end. If you like this and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Keep safe, keep riding. Up North Biker, out.